Well, good morning, ladies. Your citizenship ceremony. My name's Anthony Basford. I'm the CEO at East Gippsland Shire Council. I have standing here next to me our Mayor, Councillor John White, who will swap in out of different parts of the ceremony. So before I get started, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land in which we gather today and recognise the living culture of the Gunai-Kurnai people and their unique contribution they make to the region, and I pay my respects to elders past, present, and the Aboriginal community more broadly. So on behalf of East Gippsland Shire Council, I extend a warm welcome to you in these unusual times in which we live, including the delivery of our citizenship ceremonies, which we have to do slightly differently now, as you all know. This is actually the third ceremony we've had in over 2 weeks to make sure we can get through all the people that are still wishing to become citizens, which is a great decision. Appreciate that this is a slightly different scenario, and we will, so just bear with us as we work through it. This is, as I say, the third ceremony, so there will be some things done slightly different to how we would normally do those, and we'll work through those with you as we go. But a welcome also to the family members who are able to attend, and those people who are watching online this important, very important ceremony. Before we formally commence, I extend an invitation for you to take videos and photos, so at any time during the ceremony, please feel free to do that. There will also be an opportunity to have a photo with the Mayor after the ceremony if you so wish. And we have a photographer who will pop up towards the end of the ceremony who can take some photos and then can share those with you digitally as well. A few requests. Firstly, as we are conducting the ceremony in line with the COVID-19 restrictions, I request everyone adheres to the 1.5 metre social distancing guidelines, and also ensure that electronic devices are either turned off or on silent during the ceremony. There is, as you can see, plenty of hand sanitizer around the place as well if you should feel that you need to utilise that. To our candidates, please ensure you have your badges on. So if you haven't got your name tag on, if you could please pop that on. That's just a part of the protocol that we have to follow. So if you could do that for us, that would be great. In terms of some of the protocols, we would ask that anyone who needs to leave waits until after the national anthem has been sung, which is towards the end of the ceremony after the presentation of the certificates. I have introduced you to our Mayor, but I would also just like to acknowledge a number of apologies. In these, as I say, these extraordinary times in which we are living, we would normally have our local members attend our ceremonies, but and a number of our councillors see this as a really important thing and would normally attend as well. So we have apologies from our council group, who is today represented by our Mayor, Councillor White. We have apologies from Darren Chester, Federal Member for Gippsland. We have apologies from the Honourable Tim Bull, Member for Gippsland East, and apologies from the Honourable David Coleman, Minister for Immigration, Citizenship and Multicultural Affairs. They obviously all extend their best wishes on this important occasion, but as you can understand, they're not able to be here today. Today's ceremony is being conducted by the authority of the Minister for Home Affairs in accordance with the Australian Citizenship Act 2007. As I said, presiding over the ceremony will be Councillor John White, Mayor of East Gippsland Shire Council. The ceremony completes the legal requirements prescribed by the Citizenship Act, which requires each new citizen to make an Australian citizenship pledge. It also provides an opportunity for us to welcome you and celebrate your decision to become Australian citizens. It now gives me great pleasure to hand over to our Mayor, Councillor John White. Thanks, John.
Thank you, Anthony. So, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am delighted to welcome you all on behalf of East Gippsland Shire Council, particularly our candidates who will receive their Australian citizenship. Taking up Australian citizenship is a serious step. It is a symbol of your commitment to the country which you have chosen to make your home. Just as importantly, the conferment of citizenship is a symbol of Australia's commitment to you, as it is the step which makes you full and equal members of the Australian community. The Parliament recognises that Australian citizenship represents full and formal membership of the Commonwealth of Australia. Australian citizenship is a common bond involving reciprocal rights and obligations, uniting all Australians while respecting their diversity. The Parliament recognises that persons granted Australian citizenship enjoy these rights and undertake to accept these obligations. By pledging loyalty to Australia and its people, by sharing their democratic beliefs, by respecting their rights and liberties, and by upholding and obeying the laws of Australia. However, no one who becomes an Australian citizen is expected to renounce their cultural identity. The customs and traditions you have grown up with are part of your heritage. It is important that you maintain these links with your past, for it is this cultural mix is what makes Australia a unique and special country. Today's ceremony marks the final stage in your decision to become an Australian citizen, the greatest compliment you can make to the people of Australia. The Australian citizenship is the common bond which unites us all. Australia respects the diverse cultural inheritance of its citizens, and we are honoured that you have chosen to become an Australian citizen today. With citizenship comes responsibility as well as rights. The greatest responsibility is to participate fully in our community to strengthen the freedom and openness which makes Australia unique. We in East Gippsland are delighted that you have chosen to make your home in our Shire, and I'm sure that everyone here today will agree with me when I say that is truly a great place to live. I would now like to read a message on behalf of the Honourable David Coleman MP, the Minister for Immigration, Citizenship and Multicultural Affairs. Today, you become an Australian citizen. We are immensely proud of what you have achieved, of what we have achieved as a nation, and we welcome you in joining us. Our history and culture has been forged over thousands of years, first through Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, and more recently with people from all corners of the earth. Australia has succeeded as a nation by embracing and defending our national values. We believe in freedom, in the rule of law, in democracy. We believe that all people are equal, regardless of their cultural background, gender, race or religion. We are a resilient nation. We have overcome world wars, depression, drought and flood. We stand with other strong democracies in helping to defend and protect hard-fought freedoms. By committing yourself to Australia today, you have chosen to embrace our nation and its values. Like so many millions of people throughout our history, you have decided to take on the rights and responsibilities of Australian citizenship. On behalf of the Australian Government, I congratulate you on reaching this very special day. It's now your responsibility to join all of us in building an even stronger nation. Signed, the Honourable David Coleman MP. So that concludes his message. So on behalf of the councillors of the Shire of East Gippsland and all its people, I wish you good health, happiness, prosperity, and may you achieve your personal dreams for your future here in Australia. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Now down to the business end of the ceremony. To our candidates for Australian citizenship today, the customs and traditions you have... No, that's not quite right. My apologies. As an Australian citizen, you are entitled under law to the same rights that are enjoyed by people born in Australia. By becoming an Australian citizen, you are showing that you want to have a say in Australia's future. The Australian Citizenship Pledge calls upon new citizens to make a commitment of loyalty to Australia and its people. Candidates have the choice of making an oath or affirmation in pledging their loyalty as citizens of Australia. I now invite the following candidates taking the oath under God to please stand in their place. Mrs. Rafaela Villa-Demise, if you could please stand. Mrs. Tessie Cochrane and Mr. Atif Riaz. Thank you. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Anthony. So, at this stage, please repeat this pledge line by line after me. From this time forward, under God, I pledge my loyalty to Australia and its people. Whose democratic beliefs I share. Whose rights and liberties I respect. And whose laws I will uphold and obey. Thank you.
Would the candidates taking the affirmation now please stand? Miss Sonia Briviol, Mrs. Megan Utting, Mr. Gary Hagley. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you again, Anthony. So please repeat this pledge line by line after me. From this time forward, I pledge my loyalty to Australia and its people, whose democratic beliefs I share, whose rights and liberties I respect, and whose laws I will uphold and obey. Thank you. You may be seated.
So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome me in welcoming our newest Australian citizens. Now, I will invite individuals to step forward when you do. So this is a little bit of a change in the process that we've had from past times. So as you step forward, please take your certificate and your plant. And if you're able to essentially stand where you are, the Mayor will then be 1.5 metres to your sort of diagonal, and we'll have our photographer take a photo so to capture that. And as I said, there will be opportunities for photos later. So let's make a start. First up, Sonia Briviol. So if you grab your certificate and your plant.
It's like a self-serve supermarket. Very good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Megan Utting. Gary Hagley. Thank you. Rafaela Villa-Demise. I can't quite get that last one, sorry. De la Mingus. Thank you. Tessie Cochran. And finally, but not leastly, Atlif Riaz. So please join me again in congratulating all our new citizens. Well done, everyone. Thank you. Just like to invite the Mayor now to come back and say some final parts of the ceremony.
Thank you again, Anthony. This morning we witnessed our new Australian citizens pledge their commitment to Australia and its people. Many Australians have not had the opportunity to do so because they were born here. Participation in an affirmation ceremony is voluntary and has no legal effect, but it is a symbolic way to increase awareness of what it means to be Australian and helps build pride in being citizens of this great nation. So I would now invite all Australians who wish to publicly affirm their commitment to Australia to be upstanding and join in reciting the affirmation. Those who are not Australian citizens but still wish to declare loyalty to Australia may join in after the second line. So would those people wish to reaffirm? So this is actually, as I speak, you'll speak at this, with me. So, as Australian citizen, I affirm my loyalty to Australia and its people, whose democratic beliefs I share, whose rights and liberties I respect, and whose laws I uphold and obey. And thank you, everyone. And please remain standing and join with me in singing the Australian National Anthem, Advance Australia Fair. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. I said this at last week, you know, when you watch the background to that, it's all about where you've chosen to live, and you will see on all those pictures just what a beautiful place we live in here. So thank you again and congratulations.
Yes, congratulations, and that formally concludes the ceremony. As I said earlier, feel free to take photos or ask the Mayor for a photo. There's no rush, you don't have to rush out. Unfortunately, we can't offer you morning tea, which is another casualty of COVID. But in the spirit, congratulations everyone, well done, and that will conclude the ceremony. Thank you.